Well, hello and welcome back. Thanks for coming back. Where are we? That's what you're wondering. Well, we're lost somewhere in downtown Anavargas, but if we're lucky, we'll come out just to the side of the General Hospital, because this is a bit of a new road, as you may have noticed. Some nice new tarmac, some nice new pavements. All the expats in this area are very, very happy indeed. Although they've been rather unhappy for the last 3 to 4 years because it's been all dug up. But at least now it's all been put back in place, and it is quite a nice little road, isn't it? And it'll bring it out right by the General Hospital. It's going to come into my view right about now on the right hand side, and it's a very, very big building, and to be fair, it looks after the populace of Paphos quite well. And of course, if your name is Lady Jen, well, you know that it's been not a bad place. It's looked after you, and now you've gone back to the UK, and hopefully you will have your little operation, and hopefully Sir Bernie will be looking after you, and perhaps even doing a little bit of lardy-dardying for you. Of course, that's Romeo with Juliet if you're from downtown Southend. So there we are. We had the great honour and the great pleasure to meet Sir Bernie and of course Lady Jan in downtown Paphos, and now they've gone back to Southend, but they'll be coming back to Paphos, I've no doubt, very, very soon indeed, and we'll look forward to seeing them again and again. And anybody's looking for us, by the way, if you want to find us, we're always in the Pelican restaurant from around about 7 o'clock at night as the nights start to draw in, and we'll be there pretty much until they chuck us out. So pretty easy to find. I'm an idiot in a blue hat with a pair of sunglasses, and more often than not I will have a blonde beauty sitting on either my left or my right hand side. She gets confused sometimes, shall we say. This is the Anavargas Fountain roundabout, and we're going to take a right and head towards the intersection, the crossroads to beneath the Masoi Avenue. That's the road where all the big shops are, or perhaps if you want to buy a Bugatti Veyron or a Bentley, which, well, I do fancy one actually, but anyway, if you want to buy one of them, that could be the street for you. We're going to join the intersection, the crossroads, and we're going to take a left, and we're going to head down again a new road, if you've not been to Paphos for a year, that is anyway, right through the centre of Paphos, and we're going to clip the cusp of the old town, and we're going to work our way down to the downtown Kato Paphos Harbour area. So sit back and relax. It's going to be an enjoyable little drive. Early in the morning, it's just before 9 o'clock. If you're curious to know what the temperature is, well, it's ramping up, there's no doubt about that. Miss Dawn's in town, so that's the weather girl, so she already knows what it is, so we don't need to have all the formalities of the introductions. The temperature is 26 degrees, so it's quite a bit cooler than it was last week. But to be honest, if you're living in downtown Paphos, 26 degrees at 9 o'clock in the morning is not too bad. I think they're forecasting a high today of around about 30 degrees. So if you're looking for a bit of winter sun, well, Paphos should be at the very, very top of your list. So want to get yourself on a big bird or a canoe, start paddling like crazy, because Paphos Cyprus, the island of love, Marika and me, we're waiting especially for you. Traffic, wow, very, very heavy, to be honest. Of course, if your name's Dizzy Blonde in downtown Manchester, well, this is but a breeze. But to Paphos, this is heavy traffic. Lots of people going to and from work, lots of people dropping off littlies and all those kind of things. What's Mr. Paul doing? I haven't got a clue. Just driving around just for the fun of it. I'll probably go and get a coffee somewhere and probably do a bit of lardy-dardying with Mr. Chris the Sponge Man, because not a lot going on today, to be honest, not a lot. Worked pretty hard through the week, and things have, well, all been tied up, shall we say. We delivered 2 cars back quite late in the evening last night, so hence we've got quite an easy morning, but hopefully the phone will ring, because of course there's money to be made, isn't there? Got to be some money to be made. What does Mr. Paul do, you're curious to know? Well, we've got a car body shop, we've got a car mechanics business, and we dibble and dabble in buying used cars. Sometimes when we dibble and dabble in buying used cars, we make money, and sometimes we lose some. At the moment, we're losing some. I got a Peugeot 3008, which it appears I paid too much for, and now the engine's knackered. So there you go. But normally we win. That's the life of a car trader, isn't it? Often we win, but now and again we lose, and of course we only remember whenever we lose. And at the moment, Mr. Paul is feeling sore but never know. I know where the lady lives that I bought the car from, so only joking, only joking. It's one of these things that happens, and the engine appears to have gone kaput, but this is life. Right, never buy a Peugeot without trying to insult anybody. All stick to Toyotas, Hondas, Mazdas, those kind of things, and Jaguars, because Jaguars are good as well. Mercedes are quite reliable, so stick to the known brands, but not Peugeot, not Fiat. Don't do it, don't do it. Two cars I've been burnt with this year so far are a Fiat and a Peugeot. There we are. Never again. Right, where are we? We're on the new road, as I say. This road's now been open for about 4 or 5 months. But of course, if you've not been to Paphos since last year, it was all dug up and knackered. But it does look a lot better, doesn't it? You've got to give it to that. All the businesses were complaining, but unfortunately, progress has to continue. And to be fair, you can bow number one. The mayor is doing some great things for Paphos. He's dragging Paphos into the 22nd century. He's decided the 21st century is just not advanced enough. So we've become a super advanced smart city. We've won the European capital of smart tourism. Our tourists apparently are smarter than anyone else's tourists, particularly the ones that come from the UK. They really are the smartest tourists in the world. Although there are 1 or 2 scattered around as well. And there is a lady in downtown Krakow in Poland. Now, she is unbelievably smart. In fact, she's probably the smartest tourist that the world has ever seen. Who am I talking about? Well, my smart Lady Anna Starr, my superstar. And she really is a very smart lady indeed, because she's the greatest lawyer in the world. And on top of all that, she's a judge to boot. She's got a husband who's a doctor and a son who's destined to be the greatest lawyer in the world. Come on, Gumbarrow, you've stuck your front end out. I'm losing my English, your front end out. We may as well have a look at your back end. There we are. Everyone's in a rush. Well, they're not actually. They're quite calm, to be honest. But anyway, Lady Anna, my superstar, living in downtown Krakow. And we're missing you like crazy. Looking forward to seeing you come back to Paphos next year. And, of course, Thomas, her husband, will be with her. And hopefully, my mate, Mr. Bart, hopefully he's going to come as well. And you never know. He's passed his driving test now, so we might let him have a drive in the Jag and see what he thinks of it, although he fancies a Mercedes. So he's a clever lad. He is a clever lad, there's no doubt about that. Anyway, let's crack on with the morning show. Early in the morning, well, it's not that early, but it's early by Cyprus standards. Not many people get up very early in Cyprus, by the way. And no sooner as they get up, they go looking for a frappe. And then after that, they're thinking about, well, something to eat. And then what can we think after that? Lunch could be lunch. Around about 11 o'clock, we start thinking about lunch. And then at around about 4 o'clock, we think about, well, going to the beach, because we think we've done enough work for a day. So that's Paphos. Not a bad place to come for a holiday, that's for sure. Plenty of places to have a great time, to eat, to drink. And of course, there's 1 or 2 good beaches around for you to mosey on down and top up that tan. Perhaps if your name is Princess Tracy and you're on the Isle of Sheppey and you want to touch up that suntan behind your ears, well, Surat Beach could be that special beach for you. And of course, there's a girl in downtown Hartlepool. She's gone home. Yep, the girl in charge of the show, our Dame Anne. She's well, probably walking Purdy the dog. I'm driving Purdy the car, and she's walking Purdy the dog with Mr. Peter. And well, probably remembering her fabulous holiday that she had in Paphos. But of course, she knows Christmas is coming soon, and of course, not long after that comes the month of May, which means she gets to come back and stay in the Alexander the Great Hotel for another 3 weeks and do a bit of partying on the downtown Kato Paphos promenade and in the harbour area with Marika and me. We're not doing bad for time before, because the road is, well, when the traffic goes, it seems to be moving quite quickly, doesn't it? Because we're not doing too bad. So stick with us, and we're going to get down to the downtown Kato Paphos promenade and harbour area. And one thing's for sure, you're going to get a great view. I think it's going to be a milkiest of lakes of the sea today. There'll be a lot of blueness, that's for sure. The sky is looking blue. Mr. Paul is dressed head to toe in blue. So you know what you're doing? Yeah, get yourself on a big bird or a canoe. Big shout out to some of the stars who like to watch the show now and again. We've got Lord Julian and Lady Bridget, and they like to tune in now and again. Who else have we got? Well, we've got some new superstars, haven't we? We have people who are joining us on the superstar platform known as Buy Me a Coffee. Yeah, Buy Me a Coffee, Marika and me. Google that and you'll be given the opportunity to buy us a coffee or two virtually. Of course, we can make a special video for you, a big shout out on an anniversary or perhaps on a birthday. Or you can join us as a superstar member at only €10 a month. Bernie and Jan, thank you very, very much. Of course, you arise as Sir Bernie and Lady Jan. And of course, they're in downtown Southend. That's somewhere around London, isn't it? Anyway, I'm only making fun because that was the way Bernie likes to say it. And we'll be doing a bit of lardy-darding, especially for you, that's for sure. Lardy-darding, if your name is Sir Martin and there's a girl in your life called Lady Victoria, is Romeo and Julieting, which is smoking a cigar. You see, they're from down south. So when you're down south, you say lardy-darding, because obviously it's very poosh. So there we are. Perhaps you do some lardy-darding when you're going up the apples and pears. I don't know, but there we are. Or perhaps when you're coming down the apples and pears. Downtown at Kato Paphos is coming up next, I promise you. All you're doing is listening to the rants and the ravings of a complete and utter lunatic by the name of Mr. Paul. But now and again, the old person does find it entertaining. And that sea is looking blue. There's no doubt about that. Look to those little trees there. Between those two buildings in front of us now, there's a couple of trees. They're the last couple of trees in Paphos. But they're cutting them down next week because they're apparently not building a new skyscraper. Anyway, look past them trees. It's looking blue, 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 blue. There's a lot of blueness going on in downtown Paphos today. We've just come past the cusp of the old town, by the way. If you turn right there, you'd go back up and circle around the old town. But we're going straight down. We're going to the downtown Kato Paphos Harbour. That's where we're going. We're going to see just how blue that blue Mediterranean Sea is today. And I've got a feeling it's going to be unbelievably blue. Now, if you want to buy a cigar in downtown Paphos and you're sick of hunting in the kiosks because they're always running out of them, there's a shop coming up on the left and it's called the Habanas, and that is a shop that just sells cigars. There it is right in front of us. I accept that the sign writing is not very good. It's a bit of a bland building, but there's a silver BMW right in front of us on the left, and that is the shop. As we come past it, there is a bit of sign writing on this side, but there it is, Hannibus Specialist, and it sells cigars. The girl in charge of the show in there, her name is Andrea. You pop in there, tell her what you want, and she'll quite happily put her hand in your pocket and take as much money as possible. Because I tell you what, you can spend a couple of bob in there. It starts off at €5 something for a cigar, and it very, very rapidly ramps up to 20, 30, 40, 50. I think you get the idea, and it keeps on going. I would imagine if she only has a handful of customers in a day, she takes €1,000. But good luck to her. She's doing well, and there's nothing wrong with a bit of lardy-darding or a bit of Romeo and Julieting in downtown Paphos, especially in the Pelican restaurant, which is where we are most nights. I sit there, Andros is puffing away, that's the boss, I'm puffing away, and normally someone like Sir Martin is sitting with me and he's puffing away as well. So here we come. The harbour area is coming up slowly but surely. Indication? No indication not required by that tourist. Obviously in his country it's illegal to indicate. I wonder where he must come from. Don't know, Sardinia or something like that. Talking of Sardinia, I had a sardine last night. Anyway, let's keep going. Traffic lights are on amber, so what's this car stopped for? Come on, let's get a move on. What's going on in the world? You don't need to stop at lights even when we're on the red, because Miss Andrea's in charge. Come on, Miss Andrea, get these cars out of my way. We've got to get down to that blueness of that blue Mediterranean. So what lane does this car want? What lane do you want, my dear? What lane? Come on, have you worked it out yet? She's worked it out. There we are. She wants to go in this lane. There we are. I tell you, the driving skills in downtown Paphos are pretty bad. Immaterial of whether you're a foreigner, tourist, or whatever. I think dogs and cats drive cars better. Most people are too busy pontificating about the price of cigars, perhaps. Perhaps is the sky going to be blue? I don't know. Am I going to get a suntan on the beach? I don't know. These are the things that trouble us in downtown Paphos. So if you're looking for winter sun, get yourself on a big bird or a canoe. Start paddling like crazy. Tell you what, Paphos is waiting especially for you. I promise you, very, very soon we're going to get a view out across the blue Mediterranean Sea. What time is it now? 9:15 in the morning. Let's go and see just how busy the promenade is. People are walking around, aren't they? They probably had their breakfast in the hotels by now, so there'll be a bit of people wandering around, perhaps looking to buy a sponge off Mr. Chris, or perhaps wanting their name on a grain of rice from Mr. Constantinos, because these guys are still in operation. They'll be going until the end of October. Chris has said maybe he'll hang around for the first week of November, and then of course they go into hibernation. But don't worry, they'll be back with us around about April time again next year, just in time for when you're booking your holidays on the internet. Here we go, the main event is coming up. This is downtown Kato Paphos Harbour area. There's all the electric scooters parked up there waiting for you. Deliveries are going on, and as promised, yep, it's looking blue. There's no doubt about that. So if you like what you see, hit that like, click that subscribe, and perhaps come back for a little bit more of our madness. Please consider to buy us a coffee or two to keep us afloat, and perhaps join us as a superstar member at only €10 a month. More and more people are joining us. They're understanding the great value that they get from a little channel known as Marika and me. Let's circumnavigate the rear end of the harbour restaurants, and let's give you a spectacular view out across the blueness of the blue Mediterranean Sea, straight past the castle. I think it's going to be a view worth dying for. So stick with us for that little bit longer, and here we go. So even the taxi drivers are up and about. This is the big car park, by the way, to the rear of the restaurants. At the moment they're using it for storage because they're doing all the renovations, but there's still plenty of car parking going on. So if the main car park's full, wiggle your way round the back here, and you never know, you might get a great parking spot with a great view. Look at that. Doesn't get much better than that. Thanks for watching, and of course we'll see you again very soon somewhere in downtown Paphos, and I'll be waiting especially for you.